Hi guys, how you doing? I'm Theo Dillon, and we're here today on the Dose of Hope podcast with Michael Gutschmidt.
Hey.
This is our first guest. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I love that. A little bit about myself. Born and raised here in LA. At a very young age, I was introduced to the drug life. I guess you could say the whole drug scene. Mainly raised on the west side. So on the west side, it's pretty prominent when it comes to that whole scene. It's like what appears to be a nice neighborhood, and then in certain parts, it's not good. My mom was an active addict for the majority of my life. My dad was an active addict, alcoholic as well. He ended up dying from his alcoholism. I met him maybe like twice in my life.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all good. I'm a product of rehab. I'm a rehab baby.
That's
My
right.
mom and dad met in rehab, and here I am. But yeah, as far as anything about me goes, I would just say I grew up in that dysfunctional kind of lifestyle.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's the same as most addicts in recovery and just anybody who's ever been involved in that life. I can really say as far as my childhood, that was like different than the most. Like there were extremes, there were lows, and it made me who I am today though, and that's what makes me grateful.
How was your relationship with your parents overall?
It wasn't until my son was born almost 3 years ago that we started kind of being on good terms. Because my mom didn't actually get clean until I got back from the military in 2016, and then that's when I started using. So it became a very like get back kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was just weird for me. Like my whole childhood, even when I got put in foster care, I still talked to her, stayed in communication with her, and it was just still very toxic. Like it was more like a dysfunctional brother-sister relationship than it was a mother-son.
I hear that a lot. I
Yeah.
hear that a lot in recovery,
Like
actually.
we
yeah.
used to like do drugs together. Like
Yeah.
it was like
Right,
you know,
right.
that's like I'm in high school.
It's a whole different dynamic than the typical
no,
mom-son.
That changes
Yeah.
things drastically.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I understand that.
Recently, yeah, it's when I had my son. My son was born. I had 2 years clean when he was born. So I kind of established a foundation by that point, and it kind of set it up to where like she asked me to be a part of like my life and his, and to like she blatantly told me like I couldn't be there for you, but I want to be there for you by being there for him, and that basically is what started it. I mean, now we're cool. I mean, we have moments. I mean,
Right,
just
I'm
like
sure.
any other mother-son addict duo, you know what I mean? Just sometimes I breathe wrong and it pisses her off and vice versa. So it's funny though, because I wouldn't really trade it for the world, because I remember when she wasn't there. And I remember when it was always me wondering when she's going to take my PlayStation or take my stuff and disappear again. But now I see her with like my kid, and it's like, I don't get that feeling. People ask me like, do you feel jealous because you're like, damn, like now you know she's capable of that? And I'm like, no, dude, like, the fact that she's like that with my son makes me so happy, because if he wouldn't have been able to experience that either, then that would have made me sad.
It's like
Why would I
healing
be
in a way,
jealous?
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
For sure.
it's a great thing. I mean, it's never gonna be a perfect dynamic. It's never gonna be normal, but it's as normal is gonna get, and I am so grateful for that.
Right, right. So all the way back, throw back to the beginning, like right before you're using, take me through your life and, take me through the process of what kind of led you down that road. Was it being uncomfortable in your own skin? Was it the family issues? Was it a combination of things?
It's a combination of things. So, all right, I'll jump a little forward. I started smoking weed when I was 9. And the only reason why I started smoking weed in the first place was because I caught my mom getting high on weed when she was supposed to be clean. So she had her boyfriend, who was a drug dealer at the time, get me high on weed to show me that it wasn't too bad and that I wouldn't tell anybody. So that's why I started smoking weed. Yeah, no, it's crazy. As far as like everything before that, I had experienced all kinds of just things. I don't even know a greater word. Like, I had a stepdad, or the guy who I considered my dad, who basically was like, from the age of 2 up, like had been there. Like
Right.
even when him and my mom weren't together anymore, like he was still there. Like that was my dad. He taught me how to ride a bike, taught me how to throw a football, all that. He was like the greatest sense of normal. He was an alcoholic, but he was like sober the whole time he knew me. you know, and he died sober too. And it was one of those things where like I had that side of life because he was well off, lived in the Palisades, like $3.5 million house, nice.
Wow.
And then there was like my mom, who was an active addict who couldn't get clean, couldn't stay clean. She'd pop back up sometimes. Now she's in a sober living, and then she get an apartment, and I go move back in with her. And the next thing you know, it was only a matter of time until she has people over all the time. And now it's weird because she's not working, but oh, there she goes. She's handing him something, you know, like stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then it's back off and running, and then I'm back over to that side. So I constantly had this like back and forth of lifestyle, which was like honestly like trippy.
So it was like a double life almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah. It was crazy because it was like either way I was gonna have fun. Like you know, it was like
for sure.
You know, it was either like I'm gonna be safe and secure and in like a very good household, or I'm gonna be doing whatever I want in this one. So it was like cool, whatever. Oh, summer's coming, you know what I mean? I'm about to go to mom's. So
right.
It was very different. But when it came to like incidences or like bad experiences with that, it was like crazy. You know, like. Mom disappearing for a couple weeks, and then next thing you know, she's in the hospital because she got popped in the eye with a baseball bat. Like, and then just little things like that. Oh, the car's missing. I don't know where it's at. My stepdad having to go like fight a crackhead to get it back because that's who she sold it to. You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird. Like jumping out of cars, like just weird things. But that I'm grateful for. It's weird, and it's so weird to say, and I know to most normal people, they'd be like, what?
I know, it sounds insane.
But I'm grateful for it because I experienced some stuff, dude. You know what I mean? Like, not in like a trauma way, but more or less like I've seen sides of life that I don't want to live, and I'm glad that I lived it, so that way I know I don't want to live it.
I can totally relate to that, man. I think everything I've been through the same way. It's, you know, I kind of hold it in the regard of like, damn, that was really shitty to go through, but at the same time, it really shows me on the path that I want to be on now. Exactly. And it taught me a lot of things that if you don't go through that level of shit, dude, you're just not going to learn like living a normal everyday life.
I mean, also, I don't know if it's just being the child of an addict or being an addict my whole life and not knowing, but there was just something about that chaos that I was so attracted to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was going to experience it one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was, whether or not I turned to drugs, it was only a matter of time, dude. Like, because there's just something about it, because it was different.
Yeah, we are normally people who would not mix. Like I had a completely polar opposite childhood, but same thing. I was just addicted to chaos wherever I could find it, and you know, it manifested itself, ending up in this and in the addiction and landing here. But same as you, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yeah. So being, you know, a child and having your mom go missing for weeks, like how does that affect like not only like what's going on in your head, but like your school life, your social life, like what a kid normally is supposed to be doing?
So I still did it because that was my stipulation for her letting me smoke weed.
Just going to school so you could smoke.
No,
Wow.
I was in, what was that? Fifth grade going into sixth. So like, dude, to be that kid in the neighborhood whose other parents are also drug addicts and actively use, because my mom was like an addict for sure, user, but she was a dealer, like majority of it.
Really?
But she wasn't like, oh, I'm not gonna be like, oh, she's big time. Like, no, she was just well known because she like did it to make friends.
Oh, okay, so it's like social dealing.
Yeah, no, it was not a financial move. We were constantly broke like that, but somehow she was always able to re-up, and she did it more for connection. Like, it's crazy looking back on that, and I was like, damn, like that's weird because like if I go like right now, if I go to like Santa Monica, like the police department knows who I am, not because of anything I've done, but because of her.
No
you know
way.
What I mean? Same last name as her. Everybody in Santa Monica knows me because of her. Like,
she's that well known?
I'm in Santa Monica, yeah.
Wow.
Parts of South Central and Watts too. It's kind of weird. I know she's a white lady too, crazy, but nah, it's literally like not like as notorious. I'm not trying to make it seem like notorious, but it's just because it's a small world. You know, like just the addict world itself is so small. Everything is confined to certain areas, and certain people from those areas venture out sometimes, because sometimes you have to, and you meet these people, and it's a very small world in that sense. So for me, it was, again, attracted to the lifestyle.
Yeah, 100%. I think the lifestyle within itself can be addicting, not even just like the doing, the running from the cops, the dealing. I know, like, as fucked up as it sounds, like the constant looking over my shoulder was almost fun. Yeah. Like even before like I started like getting on coke and crack and all the stimulants that make you feel that way.
Yeah.
Like even when I was just like toting acid around, dude, I enjoyed like the feeling of like, oh, these cops are here to get me. You know, it made me feel like in some fucked up way, like important? I don't know.
I couldn't. I used to get mad at people who got paranoid. Because
I was that guy.
I
I was
never
that guy.
hit the point of paranoia where I'm like, somebody's here to get me, and it would just piss me off, and I'd be like, you're about to ruin it for me. I paid good money for these drugs. Please don't do this right now. Like, that's why I'd be like, nobody's out to get you. Nobody's out to get me. I sell dubs, bro. Trust me, nobody's coming to get me, dude. Like, and I tried to maintain that, but then there would always be that, like, one, that would just, like, say something. I'd be like, that makes sense. Hold on a minute. Looking out
Peek out the blinds,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hold on. What do you mean you might have been followed here? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And, yeah, dude, this is wild.
I would never get paranoid to the point where I'd be like, oh, there's cops at my fucking door, like those people. But I would sit down, like, after doing a bunch of cocaine, and my heart would be beating really fast. Fucking obviously, because I did a bunch of cocaine.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm dying. Like, oh, my chest hurts.
That was the
I'm
notorious.
dying. Yeah, like, oh, hey guys, you need to drive me to the hospital right now
Yeah.
because I'm dying, And it would be like every fucking time because I didn't know how to do like a little amount. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, what sucked for me is I had social anxiety outside of drug addiction. So even if I was dying, I was just like, just leave me here. Because I don't want to talk to strangers right now.
Like, fuck it, we ball.
Just leave me here. I think one time in my whole addiction did I ever sit in an empty, abandoned apartment with all the lights off and a baseball bat because I thought somebody was coming. Like, that's one time. And
It sounds like a
what I
great
mean?
time, dude. Yeah.
Other than that,
sounds
pretty
phenomenal.
solid. But I mean, it's the things, I don't even things, experiences that I had were more or less looking back so funny to laugh at because it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
It was just like off the wall things where I'm like, what was I thinking, dude? That was wild.
And it's like, I love it too, because like our whole community in recovery, it's just, we can talk about these like insane fucking things that are just like, if it happens to anybody, like it's like a traumatic experience, but we just sit here and laugh about it, dude. And like, we'll crack the fuck up over like the most inhumane, like egregious shit ever.
Dude, and then when other normies are around and you're saying this, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, it's like, I'm good.
This
like,
is funny.
It's funny. Yeah.
Like, you
know
can
what I mean?
laugh,
I guess
Oh,
we're just
God.
messed up in the head, dude. But
Yeah.
you know what? I would not rather hang out with any other group of people.
Oh yeah, dude. It's so exciting. Keeps it interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So you joined the Navy when you were how old?
I started doing enlist when I was 18. I didn't actually leave until I was 19 because I enlisted.
Right.
towards-
Okay. And so you started, what would it be, boot camp when you were?
Yeah, I started November 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, November 2013.
And like, take me through just being in the Army. Like, how did it affect your usage? Did you use more? Did you use less? Were there times where?
I joined to stop drinking. At the time when I enlisted, all right, I'm going to be real with you. The reason why I joined the military was not for any kind of American reason. I was drinking Heineken tall cans in my foster home playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And I'm like, I got to do something with my life. I'm going to join the military because I love playing Black Ops.
Playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1?
So I tried to enlist in the Army at first, and they were taking too long because on the same token, I was also aging out of foster care.
Right.
And I had nowhere to go. So I'm like, dude, if I leave here with nowhere to go, I'm like, nothing good is going to come of it. So
Right.
I hurry up. Navy goes, can you go to MEPS tomorrow? I'm like, yep. Do the whole ASVAB. I leave like 3 months after that. And I thought that was kind of going to like change things. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the time, my mom's in and out of jail, still actively using at this point. My dad had just died. Both of them actually. Come to find out they died the same year.
Oh, wow.
And my high school girlfriend broke up with me. Like, it was just all going bad. And that wasn't the reason why, but that was why I wanted to escape so bad. And I thought that would like fix everything. And it did for a little bit. Not gonna lie. You know what I mean? It was in a place where I couldn't do anything, not even if I wanted to. But it was also a new experience that took my mind off of it. But what happens is I go through boot camp, I go through A school, which is like the school for your job. And I immediately go out on a 9.5-month deployment to all these other countries where the legal drinking age is lower than what it is here.
No way.
And I'm terrified to do any substances or weed or anything. But everybody's getting drunk. So I'm like, all right, cool. So what ended up happening was me just uncontrollably drinking all deployment. It was to the point where like I would go to a country and I would make it a goal not to be drunk.
Really?
And I'd fail every time.
Wow.
That's how I discovered
So you joined
limoncello.
to stop drinking and then ended up drinking more.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
worst branch to join for that, by the way.
Really?
It's
The
part of
Navy?
the tradition, dude. We always just drink. That's it. I didn't know it was like that for real. Until like you just realize that that's what you do. But Yeah, I did it to stop, and then it's kind of weird how my spiral story happened because I literally just met. I saw this chick that I had enlisted at the same place with out here, and she smelled like weed, and I'm like, damn, dude, like you bold, that's crazy. She goes, dude, no, and then she told me how the piss tests work in the military, and all you gotta do is tell addict that there's a chance. And bro, she said, yep, there's a box of 12. They can't afford to test all 12 because that'd be literally thousands from every command a day. So they test one out of the 12. And if the one is clean, then they don't test the rest of the box. All I heard was, mine ain't going to be that one.
1 out of 12.
Man.
Chance, yeah.
So I started smoking weed, right? Thinking, all right, cool. But then that paranoia kicks in because I'm like, damn, it's in my system for 30 days. Well, I'm going to piss hot. Might as well piss hot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I still tried to control only, I'll do blow on the weekends. And, you know, if you think that being in the military stops people from getting high, man, I ain't a snitch, but damn, that's crazy.
I think that's
it was easier to find in the military.
Yeah, I think
anything.
it's like so funny because my grandfather, when I was really fucking going through it, and he was in the Navy, he's like, you should really man up and pull up your big boy pants and, you know, go join the Navy. And I was like, you know, I really thought I was considering it. I was like, then, you know, it might get me like nice and sober. And then like, since I've actually started considering like joining, like all I've heard is like, dude, be ready to be around drugs and alcohol 24/7. 24/7.
Constantly. Even if you're not around drugs, because there are some people who really fight that fight and like don't go around that. You'll be around alcohol because I promise you those people are drinkers.
Right.
It was just a game of who was the most sober to drive on base in the morning every morning for like
That's fucking
years.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. I didn't realize the tolerance. That was the first time I ever experienced like withdrawals was when I would like actually stop drinking.
Oh.
And it was funny because I didn't realize what it was until I had already came back and then went through rehab. And I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
No way.
That's crazy. Because I remember like uncontrollably shaking and I'm like, what's going on right now? Like, this is so weird. And you know what? But hey, like, you just, as a military member, dude, withdrawals don't matter. Tough it out. You got to go do shit right now. Like, and that's what you would go do. Like,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
But,
Oh
you know,
my God.
it just was what it was. But I didn't escape it. If anything, I attracted to it. And the minute I kind of got an into the life, because I was stationed in Virginia, the minute I kind of found it, I didn't even find it. The minute I stumbled upon it, game over. I made friends with everybody who I knew who sold.
Right.
I had access to every substance.
As we do.
In a matter of like a month. Dude.
As we do.
All I needed.
I just want to know the connect, man. You know, I'm not going to go do it. I just want to, you know, make sure I have
Yeah.
a guy that does have it in case I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same mindset, dude.
I just want to be homies. That's it.
Yeah, you know, just in case.
Yeah, he's a
Just
cool
in
guy.
case. Yeah, just in case I do need some meth or some crack or
You never know.
some fat. No, you never know, man. You
Deployments
never
are
know.
long, man. No, I was like, Nah,
So, did you, when you discharged from the Army, was it because of the alcohol, or was it to come home and? You
no,
know,
I
do
discharged
something
from the
else?
Navy because of the drugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
by that
Navy
point
because of the
I
drugs.
had surpassed alcohol, and I just was like, if I'm gonna piss out, I'm gonna piss like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. And I had reached this point where I was like, it's over for me. Like I had mentally checked out in the sense where I didn't care anymore.
Right.
And I don't know if it was ego or if it was just addiction or what, but something just happened where I didn't care anymore. I just felt like okay, no matter what, until we're in port in Virginia, and my first class walks in, and I'm with my girlfriend, who was my girlfriend at the time, and he goes, hey, Gutschmidt, I got to walk you to the MA's office, which is like military police, but for Navy. I got to walk you to the MA's office. I go, oh, okay. He goes, oh, no, like now, like I have to walk you personally. I knew immediately. Immediately I knew. Because I didn't do no bad things. It's just drugs, you know what I mean? So I was like, this can only be one thing. We walk in that office, man, and the MA chief, he had this big mustache. He looked like just like a burly firefighter, dude. Believe
Right.
he was nice, but he could be scary. So anyways, we walk in. I just see a paper with highlight.
Oh no.
And he didn't say a word to me. He's just looking at me, and I just start smiling. He goes, you think it's funny? And I'm like, nah. Like, I was just done. Like, I had went in fuck it mode instantly.
Yep.
You know, it was like a mechanism. And he goes, yeah, you want to tell me what this is about? And my only words to him were, you got me. That's it. Like, I don't, like, what am I going to defend on that?
Right. What can you possibly say when like the shit's,
Homie, like
right
I had
there?
used literally hours before I peed for that.
Oh no way! So were you
Multiple
like high
places.
while
Oh,
it was?
dude,
You're
yeah.
like fucked off. Like oh my god,
Dude,
I
yeah.
can't imagine, dude.
Yeah, like if they want to arrest me now for it, I was doing like ecstasy in secret
my
spaces.
God,
Like it was
dude.
bad, dude. But
Holy fuck.
wait, I did my job. You know what I mean?
That's
But,
right. That's right.
But
That's
yeah, I
all that
ended up
matters.
getting admin step for that. I got OTH, which is upgradable now. Actually, come to find out, but It's the one regret I have in my life. I have 2 regrets in my life, bro. One of them was not saying bye to my dad because I was being petty as a high school kid. And the second one is getting kicked out of the military. If to this day, bro, like that was years ago, almost a decade ago now. And I still think about that constantly, bro. But it is what it is. Learning experience, and I got what I got out of it. And I also learned that I just can't do anything. Well, that's when I started. You know, I'm hard-headed, so of course I have a whole story for when I came back. But
yeah, let's get into that. Like, so when you came back and after the military, like, what was that looking like?
So, my girlfriend, who was my girlfriend in the military, I stayed out in Virginia after I got kicked out for like a month, and I thought it would be a great idea to start selling coke out of her off-base housing.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't want to work at Jimmy John's no more. And she broke up with me for that. This whole thing happened where I don't even know to this day, and honestly, I don't even care. It's been so long that she was cheating on me with somebody I was working with on the ship. Whether it was true or not, I crashed out. And she was on an underway in New York, and I sold all of our shit. And I bought a Greyhound ticket back here to LA from Norfolk, Virginia. It was 3.5-day bus ride, and it was the most enlightening experience of my life.
Yeah.
Because we stopped different places, so I was cool. The whole time I'm crying. Sam Smith's album just came out. So,
no.
Bro, I was vibing.
Oh, fuck that.
But I came back out here, and I came, and my mom was clean at this time, right? And I came back, and she was the only person I knew to hit up. My dad's dead. My grandma's old. She lives by herself. I can't stay with her. Right. She's disabled. I can't stay there. And so my mom and her friends, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's clean now. But my mom, bless her heart, friendship, bro. Just the power of friendship. So, of course, she still had friends who were actively using all the time. One of them owned a house. So, of course, I come back. I said, I need somewhere to stay. So I'm staying in the Tweaker house in Santa Monica with her boyfriend at the time, who was selling meth at the time, and then the dude who was actively using meth also. So it was about a month and a half, I think, of me drinking until I just was like, fuck it, dude. And, you know, we're a mischievous bunch.
We are.
So they didn't know that I was using meth at this time.
Right.
So that made it so much easier when I would steal it from her dude and just listen to them fight because he thought he stole it. I'm in the bedroom cutting the lines with his stuff for almost a year, dude. Almost a year that went on. Like, and it was crazy to think about looking back, but it was like the saddest year. I had like the best job. I worked at LAX at one point. Quit that job because I used to steal snacks from there because I would spend all my money on the snack. I mean, on the drugs.
Yeah.
And I worked in the. I would stock the stores in the international, like Univision and stuff, bro. And I was stealing snacks. One day I come into work, skinny and shit, stealing snacks, and they bring somebody in, and then I'm leaving. Right. I just got off, and the manager comes in. She goes, "Oh, hey, everybody, meet so and so." They're just gonna look at the cameras. Some of the stock items just haven't been adding up, and yada yada. I quit right then in that moment. I left and I looked at my coworkers and they didn't know, but I knew I was never coming back. So I went home, dude. I never even got a job after that. I decided to pursue meth full time. And I just stole from my mom's boyfriend for almost a year, dude. And it reached the lowest point in my life. Probably the scariest, actually. It was the first time in my life I ever tried to commit suicide was at that point.
No way.
Yep. Thanksgiving 2016.
Well, what was going through your head when you were at that point, if you don't mind me asking?
So I naturally, like now, like I'm just tall, so I look skinny as hell, but I'm like naturally 220, 225.
Right.
At that point in time, I couldn't get up to walk to the store to buy my own blunt wraps anymore because I would pass out. I weighed 175, 180 pounds, I think. I never went outside. I stayed in that room, and for some reason, nobody suspected the whole time. They just thought I was depressed because depression has been like a thing of mine for a while. So they're like, oh. But nobody suspected because nobody came to talk to me. Nobody cared. Like, no. They didn't care. They just were scared because my mom didn't live there. And they were scared of my mom. My mom was like powerhouse when it comes to that whole community. Once she got clean, everybody got to get clean now. Like, the ones who didn't, they were scared. But it just reached the point where I remember looking in the mirror, dude, and like seeing my heartbeat through my stomach and my ribs. And I looked in the mirror, dude, and I was just like, I'm so ready to die this way. Like, I had never said that. You know, it was the first time in my life I ever looked in the mirror and went, fuck it. This is how I'm going to die, just like her. You know what I mean? And like my mom, because my mom was a big blaming point for me for all my life. You know what I mean? Like, I was raised in an environment, in a system in foster care where they just told me, oh, poor you, it's not your fault. So what happened is I got older and I carried that. You know what I mean? Now I'm a grown ass adult thinking nothing is my fault, and playing the whole this person did this to me, or she
Playing
fucked me
victim.
up, like, and that's what I carried on. So I couldn't see my part, and I didn't want to see my part because it was even scary to think that I was doing it to myself. And I looked in the mirror and I was prepared to die. And luckily, I wasn't as educated on how to overdose on meth, and that you can't when you snort it. So it was Thanksgiving 2016, and I had walked into my mom's boyfriend's room when he left to do a delivery. I took all of his meth.
Wow.
It was a couple ounces, I think. I crushed all of it on a glass table in my room, and I just proceeded to fucking inhale the max capacity. I love the burn, dude.
Jesus.
The burn was my thing.
Yeah.
It was my thing. That's how I knew it was good.
Yeah.
But I just, like, when I say, like, Hoover vacuum ain't got nothing on me, homie, I was like, I'm not even going to be here to taste this nasty shit anymore. I literally was sitting there going, because my nose started to clog, so I went, fuck it, it's going down my airway, and I was, like, coughing, and, like, dude, it was just all fucked. But anyways,
Oh my God.
so I didn't die.
What was that high like?
It hurt.
What was that high like?
I don't remember. I passed out.
No,
So
what?
I had peaked at some point, I guess, doing a bunch of meth. Your heart goes pretty fast. But I was so malnourished that honestly, I probably didn't do a lot. It was a lot. I probably didn't do a lot, but I did enough to where my body was like, what the? And then gave out. And so
Holy fuck, dude.
I remember how I passed out because it was the first time I ever had a seizure.
Oh, wow.
So the guy who owned the house, who was my mom's friend, for some reason he would get high and randomly want to come talk to me. And it was just random. She'd knock on the door. So right after I had just did that, he knocks on the door. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like wiping my face and like, because I'm just like, fucking look like a snowman at this point. I'm like, like I can't talk. It burns bad, bro. Anyways, so I opened the door and I stood up. My bed was on the floor. It was just hardwood floor, like not even hardwood. It was just wood because it's stripped. And my bed was a mattress on the floor, roaches everywhere, and a TV with a PS3 and Netflix. And it was so sad, but it was all I had. And I stand up real quick, wipe my face off, open the door right quick. I'm like, and they knew I smoked weed. I had like a bong and all kinds of stuff. So he starts talking to me about football or the football game or something. And that's the last thing I remember. But it's also weird because it's the first time and only time I ever had a seizure, and I was completely conscious the whole time.
No
way. It was
way.
the trippiest thing.
Wow.
So my heart is going a million miles per minute. I'm sweating. I remember standing up trying to look normal. He's talking to me, and I go, damn, I stood up too fast. So I lean forward, put my hands on my knees, and then from this point is what he told me, is my eyes rolled in the back of my head, and I just went, and I just went back. And mind you, I'm tweaking, so my dresser drawers are out. And I smack my head on the dresser drawer and I start seizing out. So I remember this clearly, bro.
Damn.
I remember seeing gray and then like sparkles and knowing that I'm seizing. Like I'm seizing out and I can't control it while hearing him scream my name standing over me. He's going, Mike, Mike. And I'm like, damn. And I get up and my room smelled like weed because I'd also just smoked weed before I tried to do that.
Wow.
And all I said was, damn, I'm high. And then I just laid down and I went out.
The damn I'm high part, man.
Yeah, he
That
said, damn,
shit's
that's some
funny
good
as
weed.
hell.
I said, yup. Because I had covered up the table so he couldn't see it. And
Oh
then
my God.
I remember coming to in the morning, I think it was, and just thinking, damn, he's gonna, I wonder if he knows all his shit's gone.
He had to.
Yeah.
He fucking had to. Oh my God.
So anyways, I did it again 2 days later.
Well, like the same thing.
I thought I didn't do enough.
Oh my God.
I tried to get the job.
You seize out
done.
again?
No. So this
Okay,
time, it was, so this was like Thanksgiving, like midnight Thanksgiving. And then later on that day, it was Thanksgiving, and I was going to my grandma's house. So I had done a bunch of meth in the morning, and then I smoked a bunch of weed because I was like, I'm not going to be hungry, and I'm a little wired, so let me smoke some weed. I'll get hungry, and I won't look so high. I went to my grandma's house, dude, and there's just something about, me and my grandma always had the strongest connection. That's been my mom, my grandma, my mom's mom. Hands down. Dude, like, always been there for me, like, that was my mom. And I think that day she noticed it was something, because there was the skinniest she'd ever seen me. She didn't say a word to me, by the way. This is all looking back. Or I was like, damn, like, she didn't say a word to me. And about how I looked or anything. She just played it cool. And I'm like, cool. And she made, like, a joke about my mustache. She goes, let me see your mustache. And I was like, fuck, I got powder in it. God damn it. And I'm, like, freaking out. So I'm like, oh, use the bathroom. And I just run to the bathroom real quick. But anyways, after that Thanksgiving, I was so depressed because I literally just kept saying my stomach hurts, I'm not hungry. And then I went back and I went, damn, that's how I spend Thanksgiving, dude. That's how I spend Thanksgiving. And so I tried to do it again. I tried to end it all. And I wish I would have just used Google because I would have realized that was all for nothing.
Well, we're happy you didn't.
Yeah, no, thanks. I progressed later, but yeah. But fun fact is that night, I guess, come to find out, well, I'll just skip. So I come to again in the morning. My mom walks in the room. Random. She's never there. Walks in. Get up, Grandma wants to talk to you. I don't know about what, but she's waiting for you at her house. Come on, get in the car. And instantly, bro, like, right after trying to do that to myself, I'm like, a fucking intervention, dude? Like, dead ass, bro, now? I'm tired, bro. And I'm like, because she didn't know. Nobody knew. So I'm like, oh, and I'm like, one, my mom is a terrible liar. Actively using her clean, bro. I know she's lying. She comes, I don't know what she wants. I don't know. She just called me and told me that she wants to talk to you. So I don't know what it's about. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, I already know what's going on. I'm like, damn. And there's like a mountain of meth under a fucking thing because I still had it there. She never moved it and saw it. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, it'll be here when I get back, you know? And so I go to my grandma's house and I have this woman I consider like my sister. Her name is Jen. And she had seen me one time since I got back from the military and I was that skinny. And I'm riding in my mom's car, and Jen never calls my mom. So I'm riding in my mom's car, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, so what's this going to be about? You know, and she's like, I don't know, you know. And her phone is on her lap, and we pull up to my grandma's house, and her phone goes off, and I look, and I just see Jen, and I went, fuck, it's intervention. Oh, dude. Like, damn. And then I go, who's that? She goes, just a friend. And I went, fuck, you're still lying to me, and I know you are, like, you know. So anyways, long story, boring. I start walking. I say, ain't you coming in with me? She goes, no. Grandma said she wants to talk to you alone. And I'm like, dude, because if there's anybody in this life who could hit me any type of way with words, it was my grandma.
Right.
And homie, when I tell you that woman said less than a sentence and it sent me, like I walk in there and I knew, and this is how I knew it was serious. She turned off Judge Judy. I knew she just smoked weed because she smokes weed and I could smell it. And I was like, damn, she got prepared for this. Like she had to smoke some weed before this. Turns off Judge Judy. I sit down. She goes, Michael, I don't know what I'd ever do if I ever lost you. And I started hysterically crying. Hysterically. I tried to play it so cool. And then she's like, we know what's going on. And when I tell you my grandma's the smoothest woman alive, by the way, because unbeknownst to me, they didn't know what was going on. She just said, we know what's going on. I said, how'd you know about the meth? She goes, it's speed. I went, oh, fuck.
Oh, man, the fucking dry snitch. She caught your ass out.
I love my grandma to death, dude. She made me snitch myself out. And then she looked equally as shocked. And I was like, bro. Like, she looked like she did not smoke enough weed for this conversation. You know what I mean? She said, we thought you were just sad. Like, and I was like, damn. That's crazy.
Oh, no.
So she sits there and like it didn't take much for her to convince me to say I need help. And it conveniently, right when the conversation ended, my mom walks in the back door. What'd he say? And I'm like, man, you terrible at setups. So they take me to Brotman Hospital in Culver City. And that's where my mom had found out that I tried to kill myself for the first time.
Oh, no.
And dude, her face. I told my grandma has been like the rock, dude. So when I tell her, she's straight faced, like, we're going to get you help. My mom sat in that emergency room, and when the doctor goes, you had thoughts? I said, oh, yeah, I tried literally hours ago. Oh. And her face, dude, was like something I'll never forget. Because as much as me and her have ever had beef or whatever, like, I would never want that. That look on her face was, like, not something I had expected to happen or foresaw, and, like, it hurt, you know?
I'm sure, man, that I can't even fucking imagine. Like,
So,
I know my grandma, and she found my fucking crack pipe in my room, dude, when I was staying at her house. She saw the burn holes in the bed, man. She just, like, came up and, you know, and I think she moved it, and, you know, I was just, you know, like, after that, her whole mood shift, and, like, I knew something. Like, she knew something that, you know.
Yeah.
And you could just tell, like, she was, like, always on the verge of crying. She just could see I was unhealthy. Same thing, skinny, wanting to not be here anymore. And fuck, dude, the weight grandmothers, specifically grandmothers,
it's grandmothers,
have,
man.
dude. Yeah,
it's like that. There's power they obtain, dude. Like,
oh my god,
love my grandma to death. She still smokes weed to this day. Her little stoner heart, love her to death. I remember the first time she tried to smoke with me. That was so weird. I literally said, "Grandma, stop here making it weird." She said, I'm sorry, like, because she didn't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
At this point, I was like, I don't even know if I was clean at this point. I don't even remember. There was a time where we sat there and she pulls out her whole kit from under her table, which I knew where it was. I knew she'd been smoking weed. She would go in her bathroom and freaking Febreze it. And I'm like, it smells like weed and Febreze now, Grandma. I'm like, I know. And so she goes, so I want to let you know medicinally, I've been smoking. I said, Grandma, I've known for years. She goes, how'd you know? I go, you can't cover weed with Febreze. Like, everybody knows that, but you don't, I guess, you know?
The common misbelief.
Yeah. She goes, oh, well, do you? I said, please do not ask me. She was like, I never smoked with your mom, but, and I said, Grandma, stop you right there. No.
No farther. No more.
With you? No. So anyways, I love her to death, dude. This grandparents are crazy.
Phenomenal. They're such a blessing to have, man.
Yeah.
They really are.
I'd love to say that I stayed clean after that, but like most addicts, and honestly just me, myself, I'm hard-headed, so.
For sure.
It was a long, nice little run after that, but.
So tell me about like where was your headspace when you, first of all, how much longer after that did you keep using for? Where was your headspace like when you hit that rock bottom and decided to, get clean for the last time?
I'm gonna speak for myself because a lot of people love to when they talk about this, talk about other people and how other people are right and wrong. I'll speak for myself. My bottom was when I stopped digging, because trust me, my bottom could have gone a lot more down.
Damn straight.
My bottom would have been till I died, in all reality, and I don't even know if it would have stopped there because I don't know what I'd have been in the afterlife. I'd probably be doing the same thing, but it was for me like, again, my power was victimizing myself, was making myself the victim for everything. Like there is no greater power than when nothing is your fault, because then you can rationalize everything.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like I'd been through things, and some would say trauma, sure, but how I look at everything that's ever happened, not only just to me, but just in my life in general, is how I look at my life that doesn't make me, sad all the time, is I went through things to see how I don't want to be. I experienced people who I know I don't want to be like. You know what I mean? I've met people who I do want to be like. And I take from that what I want, and I kind of, I don't want to say molded myself, but more or less just chose that I don't want to be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's that. And I want good for other people. And I didn't know it was going to be my last time getting clean. Like, I just passed 5 years in June 14th. And I didn't know that was going to be my last time getting clean. I'm going to be real with you. After about the third time of trying, I didn't think I ever was. I knew I could get 90 days, no problem. I was 30, 60, 90 days, no problem. I love the white key tags. I used to color match my outfit to whatever key tag I was getting. Right. Dude, it was so lame. But hey, if you're doing that now, cool. That's your thing. That's what keeps you coming back. Cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But for me, I never planned to stay clean. Not that I planned to keep getting high, but just like I had AMA'd and non-completed so many places, dude, that I kind of figured out what was up. And after you realize that there's not really a set thing that you can do and be like, no, I'm going to be clean forever. It's up to you. Man, when you tell me something's up to me, I'm going to fuck it up. Promise you. Like, that's where my head goes, because either I mess it up immediately because I'm scared, or I panic while I have it, and then I just do things kind of unconsciously, I guess, where I set myself up for failure. And 9 times out of 10, it was over a girl. I'm going to be honest, because there's no greater distraction. And it was always at, like, dating apps.
Really?
Apps. So I would be in rehab, get my phone back, go on dating apps. And I would, not that I intentionally would look, but I would just so happen to stumble upon women with their own housing. And I'd be like, you're the love of my life.
Yep.
And I'm so serious. One time I found this chick who lived two houses down from the rehab I was at. And I'm like, oh my God, this is meant to be. I'm an AMA right now. And I laughed. She had just had a baby. It was so weird, dude. Oh, anyways, it was only like a week until I was like getting high again. She's like, you don't do anything. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you need to leave. I was like, yeah. And I went on a sick one after that. But distraction. Distraction was my thing. You know what I mean? And sure. Again, I would love to tell you why I ever relapsed or how many times it was a lot. It was a lot for me. I know that much. May not for other people. It is what it is. But double digits is cool with me. As I can tell you, I've been around, but it was a different reason every time. I could give you multitude of reasons of what it was, because honestly, I'm a very complicated person, so there's probably a multitude of reasons why I did it. But I promise you that none of them would be valid to anybody, but they're valid to me. And
Right.
that's what mattered at the time. And honestly, I think when editing is gonna love this, but when when I got clean this last time, I can tell you what ran through my head. Because the last time I got clean 5 years ago, I had reached new lows. You know, like that's never happened to me. I'd never been like in that situation. All of that happened. I got arrested twice. I got arrested for the first time twice in the same week.
How did you manage to get arrested twice? What? You gotta tell the story.
Okay. So let me tell you the story about how I didn't get arrested, and then it'll lead to how I did. We get it. Your cock's big. Anyways.
Thanks, Cena.
No, Cena. So at one point in time, I was selling meth in South Central, right? Predominantly Mexican neighborhood, F13, Florencia. Because I had a foster brother who was very heavily involved in that whole gang. It was like an associate, whatever he was. I don't know. Anyways, I had AMA'd from treatment, and I knew I wanted to go back into that life. But I was like, hey, let me go talk to him. Like, let me go dabble with him. Unbeknownst to me, like, he was deep in that. So I like, once I was there, I was like, oh, it is what it is. This whole situation happens. Not even situation, just it comes to be about that I end up staying with his kid's mom. Because I knew both of them from high school. Like, you know, he was my foster brother. I knew her in high school. Whole thing happened. Started selling meth. Anyways, long story, boring. Stuff happens. I end up selling meth for that gang at some point. And she loses the kids, her kids, my foster brother's kids, and she loses them. She gets kicked out of the apartment she's in that I was staying in, so we break into the one right behind it. And we're staying in the bando for a while. She ends up getting a boyfriend going with him. And this like whole thing transpires where I become like homeless. Like I can't even sleep in the bando because they done called the cops on me now. Like I have nowhere to go.
Man.
I had non-commed my family for almost a year at this point. Like I literally chose to not have a cell phone or any means of communication. I would randomly pop up in front of my mom's house. Like, can I use your shower? Like I'm doing so well right now. I mean, crime. I don't get crime-wise. They're not gonna arrest me now. At one point, I had a Jeep, and that wasn't in my name, brand new, off the lot, because the guy who worked there also did meth.
Oh no, fucking.
Oh man,
way.
yeah, he pushed paperwork easy. Anyways,
Wow.
So had that for about a week, and life just got crazy, man. Like it was weird. Like
Yeah.
I was homeless, but drove a brand new Jeep, but like I had nowhere to stay, and sold meth, and like I'm not gonna say, but I sold a bunch of drugs. I didn't, but I sold enough that a gang wanted me to sell for them. Like that's you know what I mean? Like,
It's a significant amount.
It was a good amount. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Something where they like got their attention, I guess, for a little bit. But that was weird, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm not Latino. I'm black and white, dude.
So did they think that you were Latino?
No, they knew I wasn't, and they reminded me on a daily that they don't like black people, and I'm like, that's great because I'm only half, so hate half of me, dude. I don't care. Like the hell, dude. I'm just here to get high, dude. You know what I mean? Also, your drugs, sure. It means I could do some of them. The hell. And yeah, things just got crazy, man. Situations and I'll go through situations and people, and it'd just be this whole thing. But anyways, I was selling in that hood at that time. It's a little small street. Okay, I always wanted to be the world's best drug dealer, so I had 3 ounces of meth on me, individually bagged, labeled with red Sharpie, in separate pockets, coordinating to their weight. Because I was nice, I always added a little extra, so I put that on there too. And I had a notebook with every baggie that I had on me, right? Because I used to manage a strip club in downtown called Deja Vu on Main Street. And I had this bright idea after I got fired from there for what they thought was doing cocaine on the DJ booth. It was meth. It was meth. But I said, yeah, sure, it was coke. And I thought, man, I know everybody there. I can go sell this easy over there, man. So for some reason, I'm with my tweaker homie who has a car, and he drives crazy when he's high. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Drive me there. Perfect. And we made it 2 houses down, and it's a literal like 2-lane little side street right by Central. And there's a car stopped. He swerves because he's high into the oncoming lane, and it's the sheriff's. And so they instantly shine the light. I have a baggie in my hand with the notebook with all the weight, pockets packed to capacity, dude. Now, here's the kicker. I had a dime bag in my little small pants pocket.
Oh, no.
So they pull us out. I dropped the bag under the thing. I'm like, I'm going to jail. But that wasn't the only thing that ran through my head. The first thing and main thing that ran through my head was like, damn, I gotta go back to rehab now, dude. Like, not even jail. Like, they're gonna send me to rehab. This is my first offense, like, ever. What the heck, you know? So I don't mean to snitch on Sheriffs, but shout out Sheriffs because when he patted me down, he didn't feel none of it.
No fucking way.
But he found my dime bag in my small pants pocket, and he goes, if there's more, you better tell me now or else it's gonna be a problem. And I said, every pocket you just patted of this jacket has something in it. And he said, are you serious? I said, I promise you. He just started pulling it out of my pockets, dude, just putting it on the top of the car.
It's all
my
labeled,
homie's on
too.
probation, has a lit Pookie in his... The Pookie was still smoking in his pocket when they took it out. They put him in the car, and they put both of us in the car. They don't handcuff us, right? And I'm like, damn, this dude's taking a minute to handcuff us. Like, well, we're going to jail, dude. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Because I told him, I'm like, we're going to the strip club. He goes, the cell? I was like, I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but, you know, read between the lines. You see the notebook and the shit, dude. It's all there, so... And he talks to his partner, and what I didn't know at the time was being that I was in a very gang-infested neighborhood, they weren't looking for drug addicts and drug dealers. They were looking for gang members and guns. So they asked me, you in a gang? I said, I know it looks like it, but no, I'm not. I just love the art. He asked my homie the same thing. No, he's not in a gang either. Cool. You guys got guns? No, just drugs. That's it. Lots of drugs. That's it. He goes, okay. He closes the door, runs our names. He runs mine 3 times because he can't believe that it's not in the system because I'd never been arrested before that at all. He gets out the car, talks to his partner. Mind you, all my dope's still on top of the car. People are outside of their houses at this point. It just looks suspicious. He talks to his partner. He comes back to the car. He goes, you, get out. So I'm thinking he's going to handcuff me, right? Nope. Homie says, get out of here. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's fucking...
I'm like, man.
So lucky.
Hey,
so fucking
call it what you want. I call it, you know, shout out to laziness because of the paperwork.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
so I start walking. I look at my homie and I do like one of these because I'm like, you're definitely going to jail. You're on probation, dude. Like, you're drugged. Like, I'll, you know, in your honor. So he tells my homie, get out, follow your friend. He looks equally as confused as I do, but I'm high. So this is like trippy as hell going on right now. So I'm like happy and scared at the same time.
Yeah.
So we start walking back to my homie's car, and I'm like, all of my shit is still on top of your car. He didn't take none of it, and they got in their car, right? So I'm like, this is a setup, but I'm still going to grab it because it's mine, you know what I mean? I'm not going to leave it there. So he circles back, busts a U-turn, right? And I'm like, here we go. He drives past, and I shit you not, bro. The cop yells out the window, you're lucky I love strippers, go make them happy, and he drives off.
That's insane.
To which my homie goes, so what are we going to go do? And I said, I don't know about you, but if there is a God, he just told me I needed to do all of this meth. So I went back to the abandoned apartment, I proceeded to do as much of that meth as I could.
That's fucking right.
Yeah. Next day, I got arrested at 4 a.m. for a dime bag in my pocket because the LAPD officer that had pulled me over had a new deputy, and he had to show him how to do the paperwork. So that's why I went to jail for the first time. Yeah, not even something cool, dude.
Wow.
I was there for less than like 16 hours. It was just weird.
Yeah. Those are the worst. Like
I couldn't even pretend
stays.
to be hard. I'm like, dude, this is all just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, I had more stuff on me, so shout out to that cop too because I definitely could have caught federal charges.
Yeah, you could have went.
I mean,
away for a long
homeless
time.
tweakers, dude. We stumble upon IDs, checkbooks, socials, like random things.
Yeah.
You know, not because of home invasions, but because we just find them. And that's why I told him. He said that was a good ass
It's like
answer.
you guys just collect things. You just,
I never had a cop tell me, damn, that was a good ass answer, kid, until I said that. Because he goes, what's up with all this? And I go, I'm homeless and I tweak. I find things. He said, that was a good answer, kid. Because you can't pin it on me, dude. I'm literally homeless, dude. I find this in the trash. You can't prove I can't. So he's so nice. And they give me the whole spiel in the car about how I'm a veteran and I know better. And I'm like, dude, you're killing my high right now. But yeah, that's when I got arrested the first time.
Buzzkill.
The second time isn't as glamorous. My mom wouldn't let me back in her house, and I threw a hissy fit, and I punched out her car window.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll do it.
Messed my hand up because I was having a come down, dude, and I was depressed as hell.
Yeah.
And I said, I need your help. And she goes, it's too late.
Yep.
And it was like the first time ever my mom, like not told me no.
Put her foot down.
But
almost.
put her foot down.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dare you? Like after everything, now
Of
you
all
want to be
people.
good. Now
Of
you
all
want to.
people.
Now you want to tell me no and like not have my back, you know? And
That's right.
It's sent me in this spiral, dude. And I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that for sure because I went to jail for vandalism. She said she was going to press charges. She just said that so that way they'd take me because she knew that's what she had to say.
Right.
They put me in a little tank for a minute. I ended up going to this little block thing. I was in there for less than 24 hours. And I get out. And I remember walking out and going, okay, damn, I'm like not high anymore and I have nowhere to go. So I shit you not, bro. One thing I know is mental health. I've suffered with depression and anxiety for majority of my life, bro. So when I walked outside of a 77th Division Police Department on Broadway in South Central, and I walked out and I took a breath and I went, I walked back inside. I stood in the line. I waited calm. By the time I made it up to the desk, he goes, how can I help you? And I said, yeah, you guys just released me. I'm going to kill myself. And they went,
Wow.
okay, stand right there, turn on their body cams. They're like, don't move. And because I knew if I say that, they
Right.
got to put me in a tank, and then they're going to take me to psych ward.
Right. That's right.
I'm homeless, dude. I want to go to psych ward. I don't want to sleep on the streets no more. I'm
Yeah.
done with this shit, right? So I go to psych ward. My mind kind of gets better. I get back on meds. I get out. I go hit the streets again. It gets to a point where now the gang is like, one of the dudes had pinned me for stealing some bolt cutters that I didn't steal. It was him. I remember when he came to pick them up. It was him that stole them. But he turned it on me. I ended up getting jumped, right? And they try to strip me. And if there's one thing I will not be, it is stripped on a public street. So I take the fuck off. And I run to this trailer. I don't even remember who it was. Or I don't even know who the person was. But I remember waking up and they're like, hey, we're out of blow. We're going to go get some blow. You're like, you good? And I'm like, yeah. And I remember laying there thinking, I do meth. Like, they don't know that? Dude, I got to get out of here. And then in that moment, I just thought, damn, I'm done. Like, I just remember I was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. And I walked from Hawthorne to Venice.
Wow.
Because I was so twacked out that I didn't think to hop on the train or the bus. I walked from Hawthorne to Venice to my grandma's house, dude. On Venice Boulevard, Venice
Right.
in Inglewood. And I knocked on her door and I said, I just want to sleep on your floor until I can get into rehab. That's it. And she said, okay. That was on a Friday. I went to this place called Claire in Santa Monica. I had to wait a year to go back there because I wasn't a star client ever. But they told me, you come here on Monday, you'll get in. I said, okay. It was Friday. And my grandma was the sweetest. But, you know, when I'm going to hang out with my friends before I go to rehab on Monday, I wish I could tell you, oh, I stayed clean on her floor. No, I didn't. Homie, the first chance somebody hit me up like, hey, are you still done? Yep. I got till Monday.
Yep.
And you know what? I got high all weekend. I'm not going to say who. I don't want to put her shit out there like that. But I got high all weekend. But I'll tell you what. Monday morning, because I was up, I rode the bus to rehab. And I did a whole intake high. And I knew, like, no matter what, I'm just going to go there. Like, I need to go there because there's no other option. Like, my grandma said yes to letting me in. And that meant so much to me. Because she did not have to let me in, sleep on her floor. Like, she didn't, bro. She could have said no like my mom. And it would have been very much so justified.
Understandable, for sure.
And yeah, what transpired after that was me staying clean so far for a little over 5 years now.
And that is dude, you really do have a fucking, your stories are insane.
Oh, dude,
I just want to say that. And you're like a beautiful testament, like a real testament to like what, you know, getting sober and partaking in your recovery can, you know, do for you. You are my boss, and I'm not just saying this because you are my boss, but like you work your fucking ass off. And it's like, I've only known you like that, so to see you like that and then hear you tell these fucking crazy stories, it's like, even though I understand that I'm an addict, like it's wild. Yeah. It's wild to see like you're a completely different person and, you know, how many people you help now with what you do. And it's really awesome, man. Like you're a great father. It's awesome to hear. We do have to wrap up.
Yeah.
We went a little bit over our time limit today, but we'll work on it going forward. I want to give a special thank you to Michael. That was fucking phenomenal. Thank you for sharing your story. I want to extend another thank you to Ritz Recovery, our new sponsor. They made all of this setup possible, and we're actually at their facility right now in Hollywood. It is a beautiful facility, one of the most luxurious centers in Southern California. And thank you, Ritz Recovery, so much. Thank you to the owners. Thank you to the staff for making this possible. All right, guys, that'll do it for today. Thank you again, Michael, and we'll see you guys next time on A Dose of Hope.